Guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Jay, this is Mike and Stan, and we're going to continue our zombie week with Day of the Dead. Fuck yeah, Day of the Dead! It's the Day of the Dead. Not the holiday. This is the movie.
Yes, a mess.
There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around.
Yeah, so Day of the Dead, directed by George Romero, came out in 1985. I don't know any of the stars. I never heard of most of these guys. Basically, it's I'm guessing it's a loose sequel. It's like a loose trilogy with The Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. This is, you know, the world's obviously devastated now. It's catastrophic. It takes place in a military bunker. These guys are experimenting on zombies, trying to figure out what makes them tick, why are they doing what they do, and they're just trying to survive the day. It turns into night. So yeah, let's talk about this movie. I fucking love this movie. This movie, to me, this is my favorite, greatest zombie movie I've ever watched in my life. It has so many memorable scenes in it. I love it, dude. I love it to death. It's got so many memorable scenes. I can literally pick apart every scene because I've seen it so many times. Tom Savini did a fucking fantastic job on the makeup effects.
That I'll give you. The makeup effects in this movie from this guy on, when the title comes up, were a fucking amazing.
I love that title sequence. I like that whole scene when he comes in and goes, and his tongue falls the fuck out.
And that's one of my problems with the music. Like, it's so like 80s Jean-Claude Van Damme-ish. Like the music, I hate.
That's why I like it. It's got charm. It's got charm.
But yeah, that scene where like that Miguel pops out of the helicopter and they go to this desolate town and he's like, hello!
And then all the
that shit made me laugh.
Well, the zombies are coming out, and they're basically like, you know, it's all fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, they're looking for survivors. I mean, at any point, they're never going to find them because this town has been devastated. And this guy walks around, he's got like his fucking tongue falls off. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But you know, Tom Savini won a Saturn Award for this movie, and he deserved it. He deserved every fucking bit of it. Just because, you know, if you go back to Dawn of the Dead, he was still new to the art. He didn't really understand how to do certain things and the makeup effects on it. But with this movie, every zombie looks different. Like, he did such a good job of making every single zombie look different. Maybe they had better extras in it. And you know how they looked like pale blue Smurfs in Dawn of the Dead. This one, they actually looked like dead people.
Best zombies I've ever seen in my life.
They were fucking amazing.
And even Dr. Frankenstein, when they showed like the people he was working on, and that guy's, it was just like his neck, and it was like.
Dude, this movie has some of the best death scenes I've ever seen. Like the guy when he gets his fucking throat ripped out and his head's going, and he makes this scream, like that scream sound, like it was awesome. And like you see his mouth going, like when he fucking, and then the guy like rips his fucking, like they rip into his head, and you see his eyeball pop out.
Nasty.
I know, it was gross as shit. But I'm like,
nasty.
that is effective. That is effective to make me gross out. And
But not just that, but the experimental victim when he just sits up, he sits up and the zombie's like, hey, and then like his stomach just like slides out. It's like. And it was like fucking nasty.
Your guts.
Awesome. Yeah.
I like, yeah, because you know, Dr. Frankenstein Logan is the guy's name in the film. He's experimenting on these zombies, and he's obviously a fucking nutter. Like he's crazy as shit, and he doesn't care. Like he's so obsessed with his work, but he doesn't care what he's doing is immoral sometimes. Like one of the guys dies, and he'll take the fresh bodies, like an army guy, and he'll work on the body without caring about, well, it was somebody else, we should have buried him. He'll work on it, and he's like, he just doesn't care. He's like, because it's interesting, Sarah. Look, watch. It doesn't need its stomach. It doesn't need human flesh. We can train them, Sarah. Like I just love that guy. And then of course the most classic guy in there that everybody talks about is Bub, one of the star pupils of Logan that's able to basically communicate a little bit with them, and he's basically trying to teach them to make pets. Yeah. You know, that they can understand a little bit of their former lives.
They're learning.
Yeah. And you know, he's like, say hello to your Aunt Alicia, Bob. And he's like, hello, Alicia. Okay, so, but let's talk about the acting. Mike, you have a problem with the acting, right?
I think most of the actors in this movie are trash. For me, like the one actor I love above all else is Miguel. He looks like the bad guy from True Lies, the terrorist from True Lies. But the very beginning of the movie, like from the hello thing to when they're getting off the copter, and she's like, ice machine. She's like, it's not that bad or whatever. He's getting off the copter. He's like, it is that bad. He was like, we all know you're stronger than us, but you're stronger than the rest of us. But what's it matter? What's it fucking matter?
Yeah, he's got this deep voice.
And then when he's
like, you're not gonna stick me with that shit.
He borders between fucking terrible and fucking amazing, which is like Bruce Campbell territory for me. He's fucking awesome.
Well, see, I liked all the acting in this movie. I thought they all played their part perfectly. I thought they were all over the top military guys that made sense because they've been in, I don't know how long they've been underground, so they're kind of fucking on edge. Everybody's on edge and getting ready to snap. And they're like, you know, these scientists in the next room, what are they doing? You know, like Stone, he's such a fucking like mean G.I. Joe 1980s commander, and he goes, what's going on there? And then Dr. Frankenstein was like, excuse me, is there food? He's like, excuse me, is there food? He's like, because I want to know what the fuck you're wasting my time with. And I just love that because he's just so over the top. And he's like, you know, and you could say he's cracking. Like, he's obviously not in control
It's
anymore.
exactly how I am at morning meetings at work.
Yes, you yell at bosses?
Yeah. Is there food? Yeah. But no, I liked him.
Yeah,
I liked him.
Yeah, and that guy, apparently, he got the role, like, pretty quick. Like, they cast him, like, right, something about him or his audition was really good.
I'm talking about the scientist.
Oh, Dr. Frankenstein, Logan?
Yeah, the commander guy is one of my hatreds.
You hate him?
I thought he was fucking atrocious. He looked like AJ from Empire Records who went crazy. It was just like, at some point, I was just like, I get it, you're fucking crazy. I just wanted to just be like, stop. Everything. Like, someone would be like, someone would make a valid fucking point. They'd be like, he's like, oh, I swear to God, I'm going to take my people and we're going to leave. And the guy's like, well, where will you go? And he just kept going. He was like, we'll fucking leave. And but where did he go? And he just kept on the same fucking thing. It was just too over the top for me. And I hated him. The John Goodman guy was funny at some points, but it's just like, I get it. You're an asshole. Have something else to you other than your asshole.
No, that was the whole point. They're military guys. They have nothing. You know what they basically, I always thought when I watched this movie and all the army guys in this, they were just basically like, just accepting their life and understanding that they're fucked. There's nobody else out there. They can't get a hold of commanding officers. They can't get a hold of any kind of government. They don't know where anybody else. They don't know what these people are doing in the next room with zombies that they have to hoard up. And they're on edge. They literally don't know what the fuck they're doing.
But I think Miguel portrayed that perfectly. He didn't know what to do. He wanted to be a good guy, but he's fucking
Miguel was completely cracked.
Yeah, I think he portrayed that perfectly. That's why I liked when he smacked her and shit. That scene was so funny.
He's like, oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But the army guys were just too over the top for me. The Jamaican guy was all right. Sarah, though, I didn't like her at all.
I loved her.
I just wanted. She was like, it was like that girl in school that's like, I get it. You're a tomboy.
See,
I fucking get it.
See, I didn't get that Sarah was supposed to be a heroine and she's like a Sigourney Weaverish kind of character in it. But at the same time, I don't think she's overdone. I don't think she overdoes it because at the same time, she shows a vulnerability when they have a standoff when Miguel gets bit and she chops his fucking arm off, which is, by the way, is an amazing scene when she starts chopping that arm off. And then they're all pointing guns at each other, and she realizes at that point that it's going to be us versus them, and it's got to that point now that there's no way to talk this and to be domestic about this at all. It's over, and she breaks down and starts crying. So she's got her vulnerable side. She can take so much, and I think that's anybody. All this disaster and horror going on around you, and then finally you crack. You can't take it anymore. When somebody just asks you a simple question, "Are you okay?" and that was enough to shatter her defenses. And like I thought that she did a good job portraying that. Like I don't mind having a strong character lead as a woman. And
I don't mind that either. I didn't like.
But I'm just saying. I thought she was a great actor. I thought that she had a good.
You're wrong, sir. Is there food?
Excuse me. But yeah, I thought that she did a good job showing vulnerability at that point, and then also being a hard ass throughout the other parts of the movie. And she needed to be that way to survive. Miguel was obviously a pussy and couldn't deal with anything anymore, and he'd given up, and he was like, fuck it, and he ran upstairs near the end, and he opened up the door and let them eat on him, and then lowered them all lowered all the zombies into this bunker, and then that's when everything is fucked. But I liked her, and I thought she was great. But Miguel was good too. But Miguel showed what happens when people stop being fake and start getting real.
I thought Miguel was just so underrated actor in this movie, man.
I know that.
He reminded me of like old school actors. He like I said, he borders between completely shitty actor and completely great.
Yeah, but you know how deep his voice was. Like, I don't know, Sarah. Like that, he looked like he was like Shakespearean.
It's like that once he's like, "What's it fucking matter?
Yeah.
Nothing fucking matters." And he goes to walk. I just love that guy.
So, but overall in this movie, I just love the way it was shot. I love the way that the zombies looked. I love the death scenes in this movie. I thought the acting was good. I thought it had a classic 1980s feel to it. I just thought it was so awesome, and the shitty thing about it is that I know that Romero. I think Romero had this. Romero had talked about that he wanted to have this big above ground battle, that he wanted to show the army versus the zombies, and they were gonna have this big battle, and all this shit was gonna happen. But they cut his funding, and he couldn't show it all. So I think there's an animated storyboard that you can watch on some of the special features Day of the Dead and show what Romero actually wanted to do. It would have added like 20 or 30 minutes to the movie, and it was gonna be this huge ass awesome battle. But even he had to make cuts, but I would have loved to have seen that, but I mean, I thought he did a fucking awesome job with what he had, and it is. I guess he does have another analogy in it, like this is a military snake now. What would happen if the military actually takes over, and this is what's going to be run by, and it's going to be like that kind of thing.
And I just wish the military had more to him than just like, I'm crazy, I'm an asshole. But I mean, I see what you're saying. I understand that you like this movie. For me, this movie ultimately it's still an 8.0. Like I said, the best zombie effects in any movie ever for me, and. I love Miguel's character, and I like certain things about the story. I like the doctor. I like that he was trying to experiment and stuff like that. For me, it falls short because I hated the army thing. I hated that whole storyline. I thought they were too over the top. But still, yet it gets an 8.0 for me. And that is a funny thing because if you notice, all three of these movies, for me, they're all on the same keel for me. Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 remake, Dawn of the Dead, and this one are all 8.0s for me. Like to me, none of them are above or better or worse than the others. They just kind of they fit perfectly.
So you want a cookie? Get them all the same.
Chocolate chip.
All the ducks are in a row.
Nuts.
All ducks are in the row. You like nuts? So I'm gonna give this movie a 10. This is absolutely my fucking favorite. Dude, don't even start laughing. You thought that the military.
I didn't laugh. It was a jerk. It wasn't a laugh. I wouldn't.
Let's not talk about over the top militaries and 28 Days Later that all we want to do is trap and rape women constantly. That's like the most cliche thing I've ever seen in my life.
But at least they didn't walk around for an hour
that's the most
going,
cliche thing.
I'm an angry man!
Yeah, but it's cliche.
So
I want to take the women and rape them, and that's what we're going to do because we're military men. It's
I was
cliche.
trying to tell you, I wasn't trying to patronize you. It was a surprise reaction. It wasn't like an angry or belittling reaction.
Well, just spit the cock out.
I'm
just saying, I was going to give it a 10 because it's my favorite movie. I've seen it a million times. I think it's got the most memorable scenes in a zombie movie I've ever seen. The special effects, Tom Savini did great in it. George Romero was fucking awesome how he directed the scenes. I love the military guys. I love the feel of the movie. I thought the whole 80s feel to it worked. I don't know, and it sucks because Dawn of the Dead, the remake, I didn't mind that. I wish they had actually done a good job with the Day of the Dead remake that they did with Ving Rhames, which fucking was awful. I don't even know what they were trying to go with this. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I could literally watch this movie 100 times and still never get bored of it. I love it. I don't even know why I don't own this on Blu-ray. I should own it on Blu-ray, and I don't.
Do what you do, man.
Give that man his money.
What is your favorite George Romero directed zombie film?
Day of the Dead. That's it.
Day of the Dead's yours. If I had to pick one, if you put a butt to my head, and
that's stinky.
That doesn't make sense. If you put a gun in my head, I would say honestly, Dawn of the Dead would probably be mine. Barely above this one.
The original Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. Until next time, guys. I'm Mike. He's Jay, and we'll see you next time on What's It Fucking Matter?
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.